Well, you might have noticed flags on top of the State House have been lowered to half-staff today. Governor McMaster says it's in honor of the 12 unidentified soldiers from Camden who fought in the Revolutionary War. They died during the Battle of Camden in 1780. Well, this comes months after the bodies of 14 Revolutionary War soldiers were excavated in Kershaw County. Today, the men were remembered along a crowd in Camden. News 19's Nate Stanley reports how their legacy is being preserved.
They fought here on the Camden battlefield some 200 years ago, and today they finally had their funerals. Historians say now it's about recovering the identities of those 14 soldiers. The day started with a funeral and procession outside the Bethesda Presbyterian Church. According to Stephen Smith, a historian and research professor at the University of South Carolina, the young men who fought in the war were farmers, students, family men, many from Virginia and Maryland who were willing to sacrifice their lives for what they believed in.
The Continental soldiers were hardcore veterans. They'd been in plenty of battles up north.
He explains the soldiers who died fighting for America were a part of the Second Continental Army. They were marching to Camden when they encountered the British Army.
In the middle of the night, about 2:30, there was a skirmish. And then throughout the night, both sides deployed and prepared for battle in the morning.
Smith says a fierce battle took place between the sides and estimates between 300 and 400 soldiers lost their lives.
It's August 16th. You can imagine how hot and humid it was. And it was in a big woods, open woods, large trees. We don't know how many of those people were buried. Every one of the gentlemen we find, except the British soldier, was buried very shallowly.
The battle was a loss for the American Army, but as we all know, they would eventually win the revolution and gain freedom from the United Kingdom. For Revolutionary War reenactor Jonathan Holland, who was in attendance, all this is about remembering the lives lost fighting for the country.
For every man and woman that stood up for our cause, that's made our country, whether they had to do it peacefully or they had to take up arms to do it, that's what makes our country the country we are today.
Smith tells me there's already been a number of families who have reached out to his office to see if they're related to the 14 soldiers, but he says it will likely take years to complete all the DNA testing. In Camden, I'm Nate Stanley for News 19 WLTX.